Welcome to the Driveway Beers podcast with Mike and Alex. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share on any platform that you're listening on. All right, welcome back to another show. Not going to believe this, we recorded probably 20 minutes of this show, and good old dummy old me didn't turn the microphones on. So we're going to try and re-record the first 20 minutes of this show again. Essentially what we're talking about, so we went on vacation, just got back. Went up to New Jersey. And first of all, traffic sucks. And I don't know why it sucks. Like, they're redoing a lot of 95. They got express lanes, but there's still the bottlenecks in certain places. Now, the bottlenecks are different than they used to be years ago.
No, are you taking the turnpike up, or are you taking...
So we did take the turnpike, but the parts that were the worst, like, honestly, most of the turnpike was free and clear.
Yeah.
287 got a little backed up, which, for those that don't know, 287 is the road that connects 95 to 87 on the New York side. It takes you around New York City, though, so you don't have to go through it. Usually not a bad road traffic-wise. And then we took I-80 west, so moving away from, like, Newark. Mm-hmm. We just hit pockets of traffic. Like, when Google Maps, like, we thought 4.5 hours. We usually try and add, like, 30 minutes because we're driving a 35-foot Class A RV. And I'm never going the speed limit. I'll max out that thing at like 64.
Okay.
Anything over 64 gets a little squirrely, in my opinion. But we were hitting traffic at 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
We added like an extra hour to that ride. Which I guess is when you're traveling is what it is. You get there when you get there, right? So, But anyway, so we go up to New Jersey, and we were supposed to see friends of ours that we try and see every year, and then my wife's cousin and the cousin's mother and father, so my wife's aunt and uncle. The cousin and the husband got COVID, so they were out. Had to cancel. The aunt and the uncle, they're like, well, we've been exposed. We don't want to expose you, so we can't see you either. So that day was a bust. And then the friends, their daughter plays travel softball. They had a game the Sunday before we got there. That game got rained out. And so got rescheduled for the day we were supposed to meet up with them. So that day was blown. So we're only there for 5 days.
Right.
And we only had the plans for 2 days. The rest of it was just going to be time spent doing whatever. So those 2 days are gone. So all the people we were going to go up and see, we didn't see. Now, luckily, though, my wife's other cousin on her dad's side, they bought a house up in northeast kind of Pennsylvania, like the rural part of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Right on the border of New York at the Delaware River.
Okay.
And it was nice to see them. The house is beautiful. They're going to use it like an Airbnb. Because I guess there's a concert venue up there.
Yeah,
Bell
I'm actually pulling it up on the map just so I can kind of see.
Just to see, yeah.
What we're talking about, because I know like that part of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Like people actually like it's almost becoming a distant suburb of New York.
So I asked her how far away, because they live in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And she said it was 2 hours from them.
Yeah, so you're talking like Stroudsburg, like that?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, there's like Stroudsburg, and that's up in northeastern PA. I'm trying to think. Delaware Water Gap is an area. Milford, PA. Port Jarvis, I think that's New York, but it's right in that area.
Port Jervis?
Port Jervis, yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Okay. Because like there are people that work for like FDNY.
Yeah.
Who only have to be at work, a couple days a week, that will live that far out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map now too. I suck at looking at maps. Like, I'm literally like up in middle New York right now with the map.
You're like at the Finger Lakes.
Yeah, I'm way up there. So So we took 80. Anyway, nice place, beautiful house, right on a little creek river thing there. They're gonna turn it into a nice bread and Airbnb type place. But we end up going out for lunch, right? Mm-hmm. And it was funny part was as we're driving through, we're noticing like there seems to be a lot of hipster things going on here. Like in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania and New York, it's like hipsters took over the place. Like one of the places, it was a renovated firehouse. Mm-hmm. With like, but it wasn't a firehouse, right? This was like, I mean, the facade was the old firehouse. Inside, looked nothing like a firehouse.
Right. There's probably no fire truck in there.
None.
No fire truck booth for the kids to sit in.
No, not even a relic. not even like one of the old ones from the scrapyard. None of that.
Yeah.
Like, so it wasn't too hipster because a hipster one would have had one. Where you probably could have eaten lunch inside the old fire engine. Mm-hmm. They would have hollowed it out. You know, it would have been something like that. Now, this had like, it was weird. It had like a Knights of the Round Table, like, not a round table, but like a really, really long dining table, like a reclaimed dining table. Mm-hmm. It had like the throne chairs that you could sit in. And it was all, and the hipster part of it was like, it was in the middle of nowhere serving like small plates and tapas food.
Right.
Like most of the people out there probably want steaks, burgers.
Yeah.
Like these are foreign people, right? They want foreign food. No, apparently it's not. Apparently it's hipsters. Because the other place we went to was on a farm, and it was the reclaimed barn.
Oh.
Like what seems to be the trend nowadays.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it had the lights with the clear lights strung around, and
yeah, you can see the filaments on the inside.
I've never been there. I could probably draw you a picture of it, and probably be pretty much dead on.
Let me paint you. Let me mentally give you the picture and see what comes to mind for you. So, the barn doors are off. It's open to the outside to inside. It's like the indoor-outdoor living now.
Yeah.
The beams are exposed.
Rustic.
They're rustic. Floor's concrete. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not the wooden floor anymore. The tables, it's communal seating.
You have to sit like strangers?
Yeah, like strangers could be sitting next to you.
Oh, no thanks.
At the other end of the table. Half the people are outside, half the people are inside. And then there's like a separate seating area down the hill a little bit where there's more of the string lighting and just random type of seats out there. Like they didn't buy it from the restaurant superstore.
Yeah.
Where you get like the square tables and cheap ass chairs. It's like all reclaimed.
They pulled them out of dumpsters.
Yeah. Yeah. or they paid someone who does, like, they probably paid someone $300 a chair for some old like metal frame chair.
Yeah. Or they're brand new. They just made them look like crap.
Right. They scraped them up. And you know, the food, you go to a barn, like if you're in a barn, what type of food do you think?
I'm thinking like chicken wings and French fries.
Like cattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat a cow. I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna eat some steer.
Yeah.
Right. No, this is like the beer cheese pretzel with the special mustard that can't just be regular mustard.
Stone ground artisan mustard.
Yes. It can't just be regular. It can't be spicy mustard. It can't be French's spicy mustard,
right.
or yellow mustard, or regular like Velveeta cheese dip that that people would actually like. Like the pretzel itself tasted good, but I tried the cheese, like the beer cheese dip. Mm-hmm. I don't know what beer cheese to me tastes like crap. Stop doing that with cheese. Yeah. Beer and cheese don't go together.
Yeah, I mean you can eat beer.
Separately.
You can eat cheese and drink beer.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah,
tastes great.
Right.
But the beer cheese combination in a liquid form tastes like ass to me. Stop doing it. Because then you make the pretzel taste like ass.
Right.
So this otherwise good pretzel just tastes like garbage to me.
Perfectly just minding its own business. Decent pretzel.
Yeah. So I just stopped dipping it in anything.
Right.
The mustard was too much spice, not enough flavor. Like it literally just tasted like I'm eating.
You ever see you get the mustard at those places and like. So I'm thinking like Dijon mustard, or Golden's.
Yeah.
Or French is just yellow mustard, put on a cheap hot dog.
Great Poupon, something like that. Yeah.
But this mustard, you look at it, it almost has the consistency of like caviar.
Right.
Like, what the hell is this?
To me, it looks like someone just didn't grind up the mustard seed.
You're too lazy to finish it?
Yeah, right.
They're going to charge me extra for it because it's artisanal.
Exactly. Right. It's special now.
Yeah.
Because someone couldn't grind for 5 more minutes.
Right. Or at all.
Right.
For that matter.
Right. Just giving me the seeds.
Yeah. Like the next step's going to be like, yeah, there's a mustard plant out there. Go shake it.
And here we like to give you the proper experience of grinding your own mustard.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
We're going to charge you extra.
Yeah, you're going to charge me $10.
Where's our tip for processing your own mustard? Like, you want me to go in the back and cook the damn thing too?
Right. But of course, we went to the place that has the pretentious food, and the cook called in sick. So the only thing they had was the pretzels and a charcuterie board. Although the charcuterie board...
So you essentially had a Lunchable.
Right. Well, we didn't get the charcuterie board. And here's why, though. Because of the 8 meats and like 5 cheeses that they normally have available, they had 2 meats and 1 cheese.
Bologna and American cheese.
It literally was.
It's like jail.
It was literally a Lunchable at that point. I'm like, and then it wasn't even ready. Like, she had to go back and like she had to go prepare all of it.
What? Put it on the thing?
Like, obviously no one did food prep today. So now I'm gonna wait 30 minutes. Meanwhile, we've already decided, because we just found out that this place doesn't have any food other than these 2 things. We had already decided that we were just going to go to that firehouse to get actual lunch. So now at this point, it's already 1, right? So we're already kind of on the late end for lunch. Now we found out the place we go for lunch doesn't have any food other than the pretzel with the crappy dip and
Lunchables. and not even a good Lunchable.
Right. So we're at this point, we're just like, screw it. We're going to eat our pretzel, forget the charcuterie board. It's not a charcuterie board at this point. It is a Lunchable. We're not doing this.
$19.95 Lunchable.
Right. And so...
You would have been better off at Sheetz or Wawa.
Yes.
Getting like the cup with like pepperoni and cheese.
That was more of a charcuterie board at this point. It really was. And it's a dog-friendly place, of course, because that's what all these... all of these, what's the word before, the hipster places are. They're all dog friendly, right? So we bring my wife's cousin's 2 dogs. One's super old, the other one super chill dog. Dog just sits. It's the younger one, 7 years old. Sits down, chills out, just hanging out. The older one, of course, has some bladder issues. Pees on this concrete floor. Concrete floor. You just wipe it. They sop it up with some napkins and wipe it with a wet rag. In a barn. Yeah. The owner of this place, walked by 3 times and scowled at my wife's cousin for allowing the dog to pee in this place to begin with.
Right, because she was like, the dog was like, hey, let me go out.
Right.
No, just pee here.
Yeah. She didn't watch her do it. The dog was peeing while her back was turned.
Right.
And I mean, I was facing toward where the dog peed, and I didn't even. It was a ninja with the pee.
Yeah.
Didn't see it happen. But she walked by 3 times, and the first time she walks by, oh, would you look at this? There's dog pee here.
There's dogs everywhere that you invited here.
Right. Now, most people would just be like, I'll get a mop and I'll come clean it up, okay? It's okay. The conversation ended at, oh, look what happened here. A dog peed on the floor. So my wife's cousin gets up, oh, no, I'll get it. Sorry about that. She completely apologetic.
Yeah.
Like a normal person, right? I'm so sorry. Is there a place can I get some napkins? Or if you give me a wet rag, I'll wipe it up. The lady just walked away. I didn't respond to her. So she goes, but my wife's cousin goes, she finds some napkins, she soaks it up, and then goes, can I have a wet rag? I'll clean this up. And eventually I think they gave her one. Rather than doing it themselves with a mop, they let her clean it up.
Right.
It's they gave her the privilege of cleaning up dog pee in their establishment, which they invite dogs to.
Right.
Like,
I don't get the whole bring your dog everywhere thing.
yeah.
But my dog and I don't exactly have the best relationship.
Right, yeah, most people like their dogs. You loathe your dog. Like,
Hey, he has his redeeming qualities. They're few.
you like it when he's older and chills out.
And not such a... Yeah. But even when my previous dog, St. Molly of Arnold, I didn't bring her everywhere. Yeah, I'm not bringing the dog anywhere. Like, I don't... Because then you got to, like... So say I want to drive and I want to stop somewhere that's not dog-friendly.
Right.
But it's July. I can't leave it in the car.
Oh, God forbid. The dog police will come after you.
Oh, yeah.
You will be thrown on the throne of Facebook mercy.
Yes. I can't leave it in the car.
Nope.
So then what am I doing? So now I got to drive all the way home and drop the dog off, see a dog, and then go back out. No. I want my freedom.
Right.
To be able to do what I want to do without having to deal with this dog. But you see, like, people... But see, like, I guess dog moms and dog dads...
Okay. Can we stop right there for a minute? The dog mom and dog dad thing, I can't stand that.
Me neither.
I can't. I'm sorry. I get it. I mean, you love your dog, but you didn't birth it. You're not the dog mom.
Right.
Like, I don't know. This is going to be a very unpopular opinion because dog people love their animals.
They do.
And if you, what do you mean I'm not a dog mom? I take care of it like a baby. Okay, it's a dog.
Right.
I get it. Dogs are lovely. I'm a dog person.
Yeah.
But
I don't get... So one of my old bosses, when I was, like, when we first had kids, and, like, there are other people that I worked with that, were talking about the kids, and then she would come in and she would talk about her cats. Oh, my cat did X. I'm like, your cat poops in a box. If you died, your cat would eat your corpse.
Yep.
And don't say it wouldn't, because it would. Mm-hmm. And this is a child. Like, this is a little human being.
Yes.
That's going to turn into a, like, actual person, And you can't compare your cat. Like, I had a cat, and I would leave food. It had, like, this self-feeding thing.
Right.
And the cat was so antisocial, would, like, hide in the basement. And, like, I'd go down and clean its litter box out and make sure it had food and water. And it would, like, hiss and, like, run away. Right. I'm like, this is a perfect relationship. That's not what any of my children did. No. I mean, they might be a little feral sometimes, but no. So, yeah, I don't like... I can't stand the I'm a cat mom. I'm a dog mom. I saw a bumper sticker that said, I love my grand dog.
No, that's got... Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I wonder... And I hope I hope no one answers this question for me, because I don't need that kind of action. But I wonder if people who... they had dogs, called themselves dog moms and dog dads and all this other stuff, and then they had actual kids. Do they then realize that calling themselves a dog mom might have been the most foolish thing they did ever?
Yeah, so...
Like, does that realization ever happen?
Yeah. Like, I remember a conversation I had with a friend of mine before I had kids, and I was talking about the dog, and I was like, oh, if anyone hurt my dog, like, I don't know what I would do. And he's like, what are you going to do? Like, beat him up? Like, well, I mean, you can't hurt my dog. Like, and then I had kids. That dog got demoted hard. I mean, it was like, sorry, dog. I still liked the dog.
Yeah.
The dog was great with the kids. Like, they would do all kinds of stuff to her, and she would just take it. And when she got tired of it, she'd just get up and walk away from them. Because they were, babies. They couldn't, like, chase her.
Right.
So she would just leave. It was perfect.
And that was the dog you liked, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. This dog, like, growls and, he'll nip and stuff. But in his defense, I'd say, I'm not going to say 99% of the time to hedge my bet. All the time, the kids deserved it.
Right.
Like, they were doing something to him, and he's like, nope. And you know what? Good on him. Like, don't do that again.
Right.
And maybe you'll be more respectful, especially if the dog's a little bit bigger, and can really take a piece out of you. Right. But yeah, they never did it. Like, the dog's never done it, like, been aggressive. It's always been like,
No,
Stop pulling on my ear. Stop trying to like tie my ears in knots.
Right.
Nip. You're going to get it.
Yeah, it's going to give you the love bite.
Yeah.
You know, it won't break the skin.
Yeah.
But you'll know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to feel it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Stupid should hurt.
Exactly. Well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's a stupid prize.
I firmly believe stupid should be painful.
Yes. But yeah, so we're up there. The ridiculous reaction from the lady about the dog peeing. So then we leave. We go to the firehouse place. And so no one's telling me like the food that's going to be at these places. Mm-hmm. So I get to I got to the barn thinking that there was going to be actual food. Of course, there probably was, but the cook didn't show up. So
yeah,
whatever. Okay, so then we go to the firehouse thing. Now we got a firehouse place in Pasadena up by us that does great breakfast food, like bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, like good food, right? Mostly, I think they only do like breakfast and some lunch.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh, firehouse, great. There's no way they wouldn't serve good food at a firehouse. I stand corrected. So it was all like, it was small plates. So it was like hummus and vegetables, which I like hummus and vegetables. Don't get me wrong, but it had like pickled celery.
Oh, lovely.
It had. I got this thing. The most normal thing on the menu to me was, it said crispy rice and beans.
Okay. Rice
and beans, sure. I didn't know what the crispy part meant, but I was like, there isn't much else here for me to choose from.
Right.
Because the other one's like a single chicken thigh, fried. I'm like,
I prefer dark meat, but just one.
It was one.
Like not like 8.
No, one. A single. One chicken thigh.
Like half the chicken, like the chicken's thighs and legs.
No.
Oh, just
the thigh, not the leg. Just the thigh.
How much did that stupid thing cost?
Like $5 for a chicken thigh. Now here's the thing. The weird thing, like for chicken thighs, you can get like a pack of 5 for like $1.50.
Yeah.
They're making $25 off that $1.50. That's a nice return.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
was it like fried? Like
it was basically a fried chicken thigh.
It was like half a number one at Popeyes.
Yeah,
but no fries.
And it wasn't even the boneless, skinless. It was bone in with skin.
Like, well, fried. I mean,
yeah, you got to fry it with skin. Yeah,
yeah, and that's the best part.
Yeah. So my wife got that. She said it was great. By the way, I mean, I don't know if it was worth the $5 or $6 she paid for it, but whatever. But I get the crispy rice and beans. Mm-hmm. It's like a skillet of rice and beans that they put in like the broiler on high so that it crisped some of the rice up, and then they pulled it out.
Is it burnt?
No, I mean, it was golden-ish. The problem is, though, it now becomes like dried out rice and black beans. Right. Like you just sucked all the moisture out of it.
It's like, did you pick it up? It was like a disc?
You could have. Like, you could have literally gone in with the spatula, pulled it out, and put it on a plate in a puck form. And I'm just like, so I'm eating it. I'm going, this is the blandest thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Oh, wow.
Like, no salt, pepper.
Could you crisp it up by, like, deep frying it, maybe?
It would have added some flavor to it. It was literally like the blandest rice with black beans. Black beans in and of itself don't really have much taste either.
No.
And this is coming from a guy who likes rice and beans.
Yeah, because, like, what makes dirty rice taste good?
Right.
All the stuff they put in and andouille.
Yeah. Yeah, right. But this was, like, dry rice and beans. And I'm like, how does this place stay open?
Because I'm thinking like get a box of Zatarain's red beans and rice. That's good. Dirty rice mix. That's good. Again, Popeyes, the red beans and rice, the best side they have.
In all honesty, if they would have just taken some white steamed rice and beans and added some salt and pepper, would have been 10 times better than what I got.
Or some, what is that stuff I get? Goya makes it. Adobo. Mm-hmm. Just a whole bunch of adobo on there, the red with the pepper. There you go.
So here's but by this time it's like 3 p.m. because we already started late going to the first place for lunch that didn't have food. So now we're at the second place that's got the small plates. So I'm literally there choking down dry white rice and black beans. Mm-hmm. Just choking it down. Like putting a mouthful in and then drinking water just to add moisture to it so I can get it down.
Did they have like a kids menu you could have ordered from?
They did. And you want to know what? My daughter got the mac and cheese off the kids menu. It's probably the best thing that came out. And I'm like, I should have known. Like, I should have had the mac and cheese. Of course, my daughter's like, this is gross.
I'll eat that.
Yeah, and I did. But that was our experience up in hipster, middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Nice town though, but it's like, how do they fit that much hipster into a rural town? Is it like a bat signal? Like a couple of them go out there, throw up a bat signal, and the rest
like
come
colonies.
Out? Yeah, kind of. Like,
but they want to call everyone colonizers. Oh, but they're colonizing.
They are. They're gentrification.
Yeah.
Except without the gen part.
Yeah. But there's probably someone
putting out old people.
Was there anyone like with a handlebar mustache riding a unicycle?
I didn't see one. Although I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Now, the funny part with that, speaking of the handlebar mustache,
bunch of shitty tattoos and beards.
There was without the mustache, that guy with the tattoos and the full beard, no handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
But he was at the barn place, like he was like the token tatted guy with the big beard.
Right.
That's at every single one of those barns.
Yeah.
Like there's always one. There's like the guy, he like comes out of nowhere. He's always eating there. And it might not be the same one, but they always have one.
Right. It's like they have a shift.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to have one there.
Right. Because we have the hipster beardo somewhere.
Right.
Tyler called out. Ah, crap. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
See if Gavin's around.
Right. And but the thing with the guy with the handlebar mustache, I make fun of that guy. Straight up. I laugh at him. But at the same time, I'm like, that's a sweet stash, man. Like, I think it looks so cool. But like at the same time, like, there's no way. Like, why are you doing that to yourself?
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I keep clean shaven anyway. But because the only thing I hate more than shaving is having a beard. But like, I'd have to talk like all the time. I couldn't like just talk normal.
You gotta strap a dame to the road tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll never stop me now.
Like with a choo-choo train coming down
with the big overly bright light and the steam coming out of the top of the train.
Yeah. Come get me. Like, no. I mean,
you'd have to do that at least once a week just to justify the mustache.
Oh, and probably just to annoy that. First of all, the mustache would annoy my wife anyway. And then me going, all the time would...
Like, come on, hon. We got to go to the train tracks. Yeah. You know what time it is.
Yeah.
It's time for our weekly train episode.
But use the Mark train.
Honestly, use the kids' wooden train set. It works the same.
Right? Yeah. Or that plastic, like, fake roller coaster they had. Roll down the hill in the backyard.
Well, you mean the one that was left at the tot lot for, like, a year and a half?
Yeah, that one.
the one where for anyone who doesn't know, like they make them the plastic ones. And it's like yes, I just snorted because it's that funny.
It's got maybe 12 feet of track total.
It's two humps. You get 2 humps and a plastic ride-on thing, and kids love it for some reason.
So our neighbors had one, and they put it up in the backyard, and we put the baby on it. He was obviously walking, like he wasn't an infant. And
by the way, he's 4 years old at this point.
He's still a baby.
And you still call him the baby.
Yeah.
Just so people know, he's not really a baby.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the chillest kids I've ever met in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. But he'll be 25 years old.
And you're going to call him the baby.
And, be 6'5" and weigh 240 pounds. He'll be like the baby. So,
I'm going to be like, stop calling him the baby.
Yeah.
He's a monster of a human being.
Right. He's playing for the Ravens. He's the baby. But
that's such a dad move though.
Yeah.
You call him the baby 6'5", 350.
Right.
And everyone's looking at you like, what? Do you have another kid here?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
That's him right there. Oh, his baby. No. That he doesn't have kids.
Oh, his kid? No, him.
But so you put that thing face like going downhill. Mm-hmm. So then they get the humps, and then they hit the grass, and they got speed, and they go down that hill, and like just go right into the fence at the bottom. And they loved it.
Yeah.
Like all the kids, like their kids they do it for hours. I'm like, this is great. They'd put like 3 or 4 of them on it.
Yeah.
Probably against all the safety labels.
Right.
But, those are suggestions.
Only suggestions. And it's like the sign up at the tot lot we got. They're not binding. Suggestions.
Yeah.
Choose to follow them or not.
Yeah, like I'll take it says no ball, like no ball playing or whatever. So my oldest doesn't go anywhere without some form of ball in his hand. Mm-hmm. Of course, the middle one's like, Daddy, it says no balls. Like, it's against the law. It's like, those aren't really laws.
That's a really loose term you're talking about with that sign.
Yeah.
Law, guideline, sure.
Yeah. No one's enforcing that. Right? Like, who's going to enforce that?
Right.
Like, there's no HOA police running around.
Are there?
I don't know. If you go to HOA website, their Facebook page, there might be.
There's some HOA police that aren't on the HOA.
Yeah.
They don't have the time to volunteer, but they got the time to tell people that they suck.
Right. If you spent half as much time actually helping that you do complaining, but yeah, so after your escapades up there, did you end up anywhere else? Or?
No, so we stayed up there. We stayed at a campground up there. And for people that don't know, so it's a 35 Class A RV. So it's not camping. I mean, this is straight up glamping. It's got the 2 slides, so you basically travel with like a 600 square foot apartment that you just happen to throw jacks down so it stabilizes when you get to where you're going. We sleep 4 people in it. It's got air conditioning. It's got a microwave. I'm not roughing anything. It's just like someone asked me the other day, like, well, my friend goes, we have friends that go tent camp. My wife was like, we should go with them. They go tent camping. I said, do they expect me to tent camp? Because if that's the case, the answer is no.
Yeah.
If I can go with the RV and they want to tent camp, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Right. They can pop their like right next to them with the RV.
Whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not. My daughter was like, "Can we go tent camping?" I was like, "No." Like
you can. We are not.
and then my wife was like, "Well, we have a tent. You can go sleep. You can open up the tent in the backyard and go sleep." And she was like, "Daddy, will you sleep with us in the backyard in the tent?" I said, "Nope."
Yeah.
I said, "I don't sleep on the ground. Like, if I'm going somewhere, I'm sleeping in a bed.
Yeah.
Whether it's a hotel, an RV, whatever, sleeping in a bed. And no, I'm not doing a blow up air mattress on the ground. Sorry, that ain't happening either."
Yeah.
I think my daughter was so mortified, like how quick the no came out. She was like, "What?"
The pause.
Like I'll let them do anything.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, can we do this? Yep. Hey, Dad, can we do this? Yep. How about that? Yep. Will you sleep on the ground in a tent outside? Nope. That's like for whatever reason, that's my line in the sand.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. I even as a kid, I remember I tried to go tent camping one time. Went with a buddy of mine. We drove a car up, pitched a tent. We left at like 4 or 5 in the morning. We were both exhausted. Like why we went so early, we never know. Get there, put the tent up. I must have tried for like 3 hours trying just catch a nap. Couldn't do it. It was the most uncomfortable thing I ever did. I don't see how people do this. It's like the badge of honor. Well, I slept outside under the stars. Yeah, and you were uncomfortable. You got a stiff neck and a broken back.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
People, like cavemen and Neanderthals did that so we don't have to.
Right. Were you like in the infantry?
Yeah.
Like
right.
chasing the Nazis through Europe?
Yeah.
No. Then what was the reason for this?
Right. Was this the American Civil War?
Yeah.
No. Then I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Like people suffered so I don't have to.
Yeah.
Right. I'm one of those people.
Right.
Like I appreciate their effort. Thank you.
I have done it. I don't like it. I could do it. Like I do it if I have to. Like I do this. There's a guy that I know him through another dude, and he does this. It's this fundraising camp out. They have like monster trucks and stuff, and I've taken Logan, and he enjoys it. But it's one night, like, and then I'm getting up. I don't sleep at all, and then I'm packing that thing up, wet. I'm stuffing it into the bag it came in.
Angry while you're doing it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And
yelling at kids for everything.
Yeah, and then we are throwing it all back in the car, and I'm driving home, and I'm going to immediately go to sleep.
Yeah.
So
if I find myself in any type of Bear Grylls situation, you might as well just kill me. Like Go ahead, you guys survive. I'll let the bear eat me. I just don't have the energy, the time, or the patience to run away from this thing. So you guys go ahead. I'll let it gnaw on my arm while you escape to safety.
Right. Or try to strike a deal with the bear.
Right,
Look,
right.
Bear.
Look, bear.
You don't want this. This is old. It's tough.
Yeah. I know you're gonna be chewing me for out. You might break your jaw on a bone. Look. What about the fish over there? It looks great.
I'll help you find a fish. Let's go find a fish.
Right. Trying to sell it. Can I get you a new car? But yeah. So we went up there. It was a good time. Like oddly enough, and we don't know. We were talking. My wife and I were talking about this the other day. For whatever reason, when we go to some of these more rural campgrounds, there's always like an old mine or like a cavern you can go take a tour through.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, we go on these tours. Like, it's not like we go there with the intent to go into an old abandoned mine tour.
You just happened to find one.
She was just looking through and saying, "Hey, there's an old abandoned zinc mine. They have tours. You guys want to go?" Kid's like, "No." I'm like, "Yep." Like, that sounds cool. So I remember the first time, it was like a couple of years ago. We ended up going in and neither one of us can remember where we were when we did this. We don't remember the place. It was kind of like going through a Luray Caverns that has like stalactites, stalagmites, and all that. Yeah. Except it was like the poor man's version of it. Okay. It was like super tiny, like the ground there was no pavement on it. It was like just like this would be like the hipster authentic cave.
Rustic.
Yes, exactly. But we went. It was a really hot day, but in the mine or in the cave underground, it's like 50 degrees.
Oh yeah.
So it's super nice and cool down there. And we're like, okay, this is a good hot weather thing to do. And oddly enough, we just found it super interesting. And so did the kids. Because they get to touch like underground rocks.
Yeah.
Like the places that put on the tours for some of these places do a really nice job with the kids. So we went into this old zinc mine up in New Jersey. It was like northwestern-ish New Jersey. An old abandoned zinc mine. And they take you on the tour. They take you underground. Like, keep going. And they put on like little exhibitions as you go through, like, and they got like little dummies up there, staged as like old miners to show you like where they would have been and what they were doing. So they did a really, really nice job, and they got a museum set up and all this. It's now a tourist attraction. It's not a working mine at all. But we had a good time with it, and the girls end up having a good time too. Like in the beginning, they're like, "Oh, we don't want to do this again." But no, so we did that. We had a good time there. Especially it was like 98 degrees outside. So to go in like a mine that was like, I think it was like 56 degrees all year round.
Oh yeah.
So super nice inside of it.
Oh sure, yeah.
And it killed like 2-3 hours, and then afterwards we went and got dinner.
Yeah.
Like, we barely like. That's another thing with camping. Most people like camp out and like they cook and stuff. And we cooked. My wife cooks sometimes. The rest of the time we just take the car and we go to a.
Does your RV have like a stove and
an
oven?
It's got the convection microwave oven.
Okay.
It's got 3 gas burners that we've never used. So we got the Blackstone grill.
Oh, I need one of those things.
I got to admit, like, I saw the price tag on one of these things. I was like, what are we doing here? We got the charcoal grill. Let's just use that.
Yeah.
It's worth every penny. I mean, it's basically you're getting like a high-end flat top grill.
So I've got 2 smokers in the back on my deck, and I have a gas grill. I need a Blackstone. If I had that, I could just turn my kitchen into like another living room. Because the smokers are essentially ovens. And I don't have to add smoke. I can warm them up like I would just like a regular oven.
Right. And
then the gas grill, I can cook meat and sear stuff. And then the Blackstone, I can do eggs, bacon, all that.
What was really good on the Blackstone? Veggies.
Yeah, so I've heard like you do like sausage and peppers on it, cheese steaks.
Yeah, I mean, even like one thing I really like on it is asparagus grilled on it.
Okay.
I like asparagus though, but you do asparagus with because you got the oil, you got the top covered, it's coated in the oil. Mm-hmm. But then you put a little more oil, salt, pepper, let it grill on there for a while. You put it off to the side, let it do its thing while you're cooking everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess anyone who's had experience as a short order cook knows how good a flat top griddle is.
Yeah. So I have a big electric griddle in my kitchen, and it just stays on the countertop. And I pretty much cook everything on it. Mm-hmm. So I don't use pots and pans that much anymore, unless I'm boiling water. But as far as like hamburgers or hot dogs, I throw them right on that. In the mornings, I do my bacon and eggs. They go right on that. Mm-hmm. Grilled cheese, quesadillas, burritos, whatever. Like, I cook all kinds of stuff on that thing. Pancakes are great.
Yeah.
Because I can do 6 pancakes at one time. So, I'm a big fan. I almost just want to go and see if I can find a knockoff Blackstone. Like the Amazon special version.
Yeah. My wife looked for one. Mm-hmm. And none of them came with like the quality of the Blackstone.
Yeah.
Like the cooktop on the Blackstone is heavy.
Yeah.
Like it is pure like high quality metal.
Yeah, because I see them people bring them out to FedEx Field all the time.
Yeah.
And tailgate with them. Mm-hmm. And you'll have these especially a 1 o'clock kick. They'll get there real early and do breakfast, and then they'll cook lunch on it right before the game, before they go in. So
our stays in the RV.
Yeah.
And it's basically 3 parts. So it's the let's see. It's the base, which basically just unfolds. It looks like a sawhorse, basically. Then the propane part of it with the burners and stuff fits into the holes in there with the lid, and then you put the griddle inside that.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's easy to break down and set up. Mm-hmm. And then we usually just take the camping propane tanks, the little green bottles, and that's what we use. Now you can adjust that, and you can connect it to a full size propane tank.
So it run off like the regular one I use for my smoker or gas grill.
Absolutely, you can use one. Yeah, they have an adapter for it.
Yeah.
We just happen to have the small canister adapter.
Yeah.
On. But yeah, like if we were ever going to take that RV to go like tailgated at a Navy game, we could have the Blackstone with us.
Oh yeah.
And we were trying to figure out what else we could do with that. Because like we don't go camping all that often, but it's nice to have.
Put it in your garage.
Not gonna fit.
Well, once you redo your garage, it'll fit.
It still won't fit. The door's not big enough. I can't get it down the street without scratching the shit out of it because the trees overhang way too much. But
I'm talking about the Blackstone grill. I thought you were talking about the whole RV.
I'm talking about the RV. So we were hoping. Like,
I'm like, how big is this Blackstone grill that won't fit in your garage?
Right. So what we were thinking about doing is we were going to think about a Navy game, a home Navy game, where we could go and park it in the parking lot and tailgate.
Oh yeah.
Because we've been talking about going to a Navy football game for a while.
I have never been to one.
And neither have I.
And I've lived here for 13 years now. Yeah. Well, more if you count 15 if you count the 2 years I lived actually in Annapolis.
Right. So we were just kind of casually talking about it. Like we were wondering, like, would people want to go to a Navy game? And if people didn't want to go to the game, would they just come and tailgate and watch the game at the RV? Because we got TVs on the RV.
Yeah.
Outside it, like we've got the door that opens and there's a TV there.
Yeah.
So people that didn't want to go in the game could just hang out at the RV. Mm-hmm. We bring our own bathroom, so you don't got to use porta potties.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think we're going to try and do that one.
That sounds like fun.
I think it'd be fun. Yeah. Even if I don't know if I'd want to go in and see the game. I think I kind of would, though. Because I don't like live football. For me,
football's better on TV.
Right. The commercial, I never realized when you're in the stadium, the commercial breaks that I can usually get up, go to the bathroom, or do whatever. I can move around. I can get some food. I can do whatever I want. Well, in the stadium, it's just dead time. Mm-hmm. Like there's nothing to watch. There's no commercials. You can't flip channels. You can't. It's a hassle to go to the bathroom and wait in line for the bathroom or whatever, or wait in line for food. So for me, live football kind of got in my back of my mind. I'm like, I really don't want to know. I don't know if I want to go do that again. But I would certainly sit in a nice, comfortable camping chair outside in the parking lot.
Yeah.
while other people went in, and we just all drove home.
Yeah. No, I'd like to go in to see, mainly for the boys, but also there's a lot of pageantry that goes on, like when the mids march in, and they have the chants they do, and
that's part of what I want to go at least once.
Yeah.
Just to see it, and if we can make it a good time before and after.
Oh yeah.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing we're going to try and do this year. We're going to try and pick a weekend that they're home.
Yeah, a nice like crisp fall, not too cold,
right?
Not like freeze your butt off cold, but like, maybe some, a little chill in the air,
like the high 50s, low 60s.
Yeah,
or maybe even mid 60s.
Whatever. One of those days where in the morning you're glad you have your hoodie.
Yep.
And then in the afternoon you take it off in the sun. But if you're in the shade, you still want to have it on.
And we got the cornhole boards.
Yeah.
We got a separate set of cornhole boards that stay in that RV.
Okay.
So we got one. The cornhole boards we have at the house are Maryland flags with crabs in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The ones in the RV, there's a Ravens one.
Okay.
And an Orioles one.
Right.
And then we've got the purple and the orange bags.
Yeah.
And that's our RV set.
Yep. So
we could have the RV, the Blackstone, the TVs running.
Oh yeah.
And just bring a bunch of food.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a heck of a time.
Oh, me too.
And people are probably out there listening, like, man, I do that every Sunday.
I know. Yeah.
I just haven't done it. Like, I just want to try it. And
yeah. Well, I've always like NFL games. I have more fun staying outside.
Yeah.
I've gone to games with a ticket and not even gone in because like my ticket usually sucks anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I could watch this game from like. I'm looking down on the football, and if I look outside the stadium, I'm looking down on helicopters that are flying.
Right.
Or I could just stay out here and drink this 30-pack I brought with me.
Yep.
And watch the game on TV.
Yeah, the whole dead air time with all the commercials and stuff, you don't realize how like there's literally nothing going on in the stadium.
Yeah, but
they're not entertaining you in there.
I mean, sometimes they'll have like the cheerleaders dance, or they'll do, like at least at say a hockey game, they'll have different little contests, and they play the music. Like the Capitals will do like the Unleash the Fury and things like that. That stuff's fun. NFL games, they have their things that they do, but the players are just standing around, and it's not enough time. You're right. It's not enough time to get up and go to the bathroom. You have to wait in line to get some food. You got to wait in line. You got to spend, $78 for, some popcorn and a beer.
Yeah.
So, and plus I just think the other thing with live football, there's no yellow line.
Right. So
there's no line. Like, oh yeah, that was a first out. No, it wasn't. Wasn't even close because depending on the parallax, like where you are in relation to the ball and stuff, it looks like it went across. And I remember when I took my oldest to see your nephew play in that game.
Yeah,
he's like, Dad, where's the line? I said, what line? To the yellow line. I said, that's only on TV, dude.
Right.
But he's not. He doesn't. He'd only seen them on TV.
Yeah. So that's definitely one thing. I want to go to a Navy game. And then we're kind of coming close on time. But since we're talking about sports, and we're both Orioles fans.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, believe it or not, the Orioles are in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
They're like knee deep in the playoff hunt.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like they're barely in it. I think they're in contention for the third wild card spot. I forgot how many they have now.
I think it's 3.
Right. Is it 3? So it's 3 wild cards and 3 division winners? Is that what that is?
Yes.
And the Orioles right now, believe it or not, are above 500.
Yeah.
And before people scoff at 500, they're right now above the Boston Red Sox in the standings. By the way, suck it, Boston. I'm glad I got that in. Yeah. I probably brought this up just to say that.
But see, the thing is, if you took the Orioles, so the Yankees are a juggernaut right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 66 wins.
Right.
Houston's close with 64.
Yep.
The Mets are actually starting to crap out a little bit. But if the Orioles played in the AL Central, they'd be in second place.
Right.
And then you'd also have to take into account that their schedule was front loaded against the Yankees. Mm-hmm. So that series they played is their last one until they close out against them. I think the Yankees' last home series is against Baltimore in September.
Yeah.
So that schedule was front loaded. So if you were to take out some of those games that they had to play New York, I mean you're looking at a team that's probably leading the AL Central.
But the other thing is, they're not supposed to be here right now.
No.
This is a year ahead of schedule. By far.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 2 years ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing, so, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but there was a book called Astro Ball that was written. And the reason why that's significant is because Mike Elias and Sig Mejdal. Mike Elias is the Orioles GM. He brought Sig Mejdal from the Astros with him. They worked for the Astros when they did their rebuild.
Yeah.
They're following the exact playbook
that
the Astros did. And the Astros made it 1 year early and won the World Series. Or maybe they came close and lost and then won it the next year. But either way, the Orioles have followed the exact trajectory that the Astros did.
Yeah.
They lost 100 games, I think, 3 seasons in a row.
Yep.
And then that 4th season, they started to turn it around. And I remember when the Astros made the playoffs, that one of those years, everyone was like, "What do you mean the Astros?"
Yeah.
Like they came up and nobody knew it happened.
Yeah.
But they had their young nucleus that came up through the system, and then they threw in 2 veterans.
Yeah.
It was Carlos Beltran and Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
Well, right now, everyone is wondering if the Orioles are going to trade Trey Mancini.
Yeah.
The thing with Carlos Beltran was he was an outfielder, so he could play the outfield and hit. Right now, Trey's a first baseman who can't play first base because of Ryan Mountcastle.
Yeah.
And they can't really DH him because I think they've got an extra outfielder right now that they're trying to get at bats for, and they want Adley Rutschman to DH when he's not catching.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do you get Trey his at bats? Because he can still hit. The guy's hitting, I think, 298 or something like that.
Yeah.
So the guy can still hit, but he doesn't have a position. Even in the AL, I mean, well, I guess there's a DH in all across baseball now. But no, because he's not a great outfielder, like they have a hard time putting him in right field.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, do you trade him to try and get some assets for him? Or do you... He's such a glue guy on that team. He's one of the veterans that they would have kept in Houston.
Right.
Because he can still hit, and he's a good influence on the young guys. Mm-hmm. The thing for me is if you trade him, I mean, he's in the last year of his deal. He's on an arbitration year deal.
Did they sign him to a 1-year extension?
They signed him. He was due for arbitration, but they settled. They came to an agreement on a 1-year deal. So he's not going to bring anything of value back.
Yep.
Because no one's going to pay top dollar for a 3-month rental.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Orioles only want high value prospects back.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do? You're going to trade for 2 single-A mid-level prospects when you got a farm system loaded with prospects better than what you'd get back anyway?
Right.
So why not keep them and let them be the good influence on the clubhouse? Mm-hmm. Now I think they're gonna trade him anyway. But
because Mancini was there for Buck Showalter's last year, wasn't he?
I think he was there for a couple of years. With
yeah.
Buck. He was there during the last playoff run, wasn't he?
He would have been really new.
Like the butt end of yeah. Like 2016. Oh no, maybe he wasn't because in 2016 he was in Bowie.
Yeah.
So maybe not. But he was there with Adam Jones and some of those guys before they moved on.
Yeah.
The Trumbos and the Davises.
Yeah,
he was with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can tell even on like the sports talk radio though, the town is starting to come back alive with the Orioles.
Oh yeah.
Whether people want to go to Camden Yards or not, because of the crime down there, kind of irrelevant. Camden Yards is a draw in itself.
Yeah.
So as long as people can remain safe around the stadium,
The immediate vicinity of.
yeah, along with the parking, you know what I mean? Like, I told you about the experience we had when we went down to Little Italy, and then we're driving toward like north central downtown Baltimore to the Hippodrome, and we saw like the guy on the bike get slapped by a kid on a scooter.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever, like just driving by him, slapped him.
Yeah.
Like, so other parts of the city aren't that safe. But around there, as long as people can go park and get to the stadium and feel relatively safe, they're going to go because Camden Yards is a draw. And if the Orioles are good, that's even better.
Yep.
But the team's young. They're exciting now.
Yeah.
Even when they lose, they're playing hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's I kind of equate it to the Ravens. And everyone like they get on Lamar's case. Oh, you can't win a Super Bowl with him. He's not good enough. He's not a top 10 quarterback. You want to know something though? When he's on the field, it's exciting to watch the game.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. When Lamar's playing football for the Baltimore Ravens, I'm going to watch because it's exciting.
Yeah.
Let's say they go 9-7. Or I guess now it can be 9-8 because they got the extra game. They don't make the playoffs. But I guarantee in all those games, I was entertained because of him.
Yeah.
Therefore, and everyone's like, well, he's not worth the Deshaun Jackson or the Deshaun Watson money. He's not worth the Kyler Murray money because Kyler Murray just got paid to be the second highest paid quarterback in the league, even though he hasn't won a playoff game either. Although Lamar's won a playoff game and a league MVP. Everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't pay him. He's not that good of a quarterback. I don't care. He's entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm here to be entertained.
Well,
I would like to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I'm here to be entertained.
But look at all those years they want, people watch the Falcons because of Michael Vick.
Right.
And then later when they watch the Eagles because of Michael Vick.
Yep.
Donovan McNabb was another one that they watch, because it's fun to watch. What's this guy going to do? So.
Or what about like the Houston Oilers when it was the running gun with Warren Moon as the quarterback? They didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But people watched it because it was the running gun. It was exciting.
Yep.
I mean, the Rams are a similar case, except for the Rams won a Super Bowl with the same style offense. But it was an exciting offense. It's exciting to watch. People want to be entertained.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and right now the Orioles are kind of that. They're young. They're exciting to watch.
Yeah.
It's not the garbage of the 100 loss seasons we've been seeing.
Oh, right.
So the fervor is starting to come back for the Orioles again. People are talking about them. They're still talking about them now. Like right now, this would have been prime Ravens time.
Oh yeah.
All the season's coming up. We're in mini camp.
Yeah.
Literally talking about a mini camp over an in-season major league team.
Yeah.
But they're still no. They're even on sports radio. They got full segments. Sometimes even full shows talking about Orioles.
Yeah. When I listen to 105.7 going into work, I have about a 40-minute ride, and the entire time they talk about the Orioles.
Yeah.
They'll throw some Raven stuff in there, but and I think bringing up Adley Rushman really brought a lot of people call it Adley Day.
Yeah, it was a turning point.
Yeah, and their bullpen's doing great. Again, I think they can use help with the starting.
Their starting pitching's been good though, but surprisingly so.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you can go to any. Even the Mets, which if you look at them, you think the Mets might have the most stacked starters if they're all healthy.
Right.
Because they've got Scherzer.
DeGrom. Is he actually pitching?
DeGrom. And then, who's the guy they call Thor?
Syndergaard.
Yeah. Any one of those dudes is an ace on any other team.
Right.
And they've got 3 of them. So, but if you were to ask the Mets, hey, you can pick up Kershaw or Verlander or one. You don't think they would do it?
Right.
Any team would. So if they had the money for it. But, those. So I think they could, because their starters have kind of. I don't think they've recorded a win since like July 4th or something like that.
No, but Yeah, the starting pitch has definitely fallen off, but in the beginning of the year, it's what held them upright for a while. The unfortunate part was, so John Means got hurt in the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. He was scheduled to be their number one. He's not a real number one, but he was going to be the O's number one.
Yeah.
He gets hurt, out for the year. Grayson Rodriguez, the number one pick from a couple of years ago, he was supposed to come up right before he gets called up, out for the year.
Yeah.
With an injury. So that's 2 down.
Yep.
Their number 3 guy was Kyle Bratton. He's up. He's pitching. This is his get acquainted year, for the most part, to the major leagues. DL Hall.
DL Hall's still...
He's in Norfolk still.
Yeah. And I like DL Hall.
Well, it turned out DL Hall was tipping his pitches. So he had a rough month of like 5 with like, I think it was 5 or 6 starts. Mm-hmm. In Norfolk, they finally figured out he was tipping his pitches, so everyone knew it was coming. Uh-huh. And he said, he's like, it's like they know what I'm throwing. Yeah. And so they went back through the video and they found out he was tipping his pitches. Mm-hmm. And the 5 starts since he's changed his delivery, I think his ERA is like under 2. Yeah. It's like 1.5. He had 49 strikeouts to 8 walks. Yeah. Which for him is ridiculous. Yeah. Because he's a swing and miss guy, but he also had issues with his location.
Yeah. Well, because I remember watching him pitch in Bowie. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he was high 90s on the gun, but
as a lefty, no less.
Yeah, but his stuff was all over the place.
Yeah, but if he's got that, if he was getting hit because he was tipping pitches and he figured that out and he changed his delivery, and that's what he had to do. Yeah, he's going to be a monster of a pitcher. Yeah. Now everyone's like, "Well, he should be up now. He should be up now." Well, if he's only had 5 starts with a new delivery to hide his ball, so that he's not tipping the pitches, yeah, you got to give him more. He's probably down there to work on his. He had to have changed something in his delivery, so he's not showing the pitch anymore. Yep. So he's not tipping it. You don't want to work on that in the majors. No. You want to make sure you've got that new delivery and you're hiding your ball before you get to the majors, because if you don't, they'll figure you out. Yeah. So for everyone, like all these people are clamoring for it. I don't think the Orioles are going to go for the playoffs. If they make it, I think they'll be happy they're in as a wild card. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to make moves this year to get into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. This is not the year that they meant to be in there.
Yeah, do you remember, I think it was either 13 or 14 when they went in on the wild card. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think they lost. And then the next year they won the AL East. Yep. So it's nice to be excited about Orioles baseball. Yep. Because as a fan base, we've kind of suffered through some, and I thought the team was almost there during that 13 to 16 time period. Yeah. And then they just blew it up.
Well, that Chris Davis deal killed them, and then the Trumbo deal. Yeah. Those two. It was funny. I remember. So they let Nelson Cruz walk over an extra 4th year, which, by the way, the guy's still playing baseball. Yeah. And they tried to replace him with Mark Trumbo. Mark Trumbo had 1 decent year. Yep. Cashed in, just like Chris Davis did. Yeah. So then they had those 2 huge contracts, and 2 guys that couldn't hit over 220. Oh yeah. And I think they kind of realized, like, we screwed this up. Yeah. Let's blow it up. Yep. And that's when they traded Gosman away. They traded Bundy away, and they were getting the prospects. They set up but now they've set up the academy in the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. They started spending money on with their international players. Yeah. Which they literally used to trade away that international money for like Rule 5 guys. Like they were trading away for nothing because they didn't want to spend. They didn't have an academy in the Latin countries, and they just didn't have the scouting. They didn't pay for it. So I think when Mike Elias came over, he's like, "Look, here's our blueprint. This is what you're going to have to do. Mm-hmm. You can either spend the money and do it, or I'm not coming." Yeah. And I think and this is when John Angelos started to take over from his dad Peter. Mm-hmm. And John was into the baseball team, and you can tell he's more into the baseball than his dad was. Yeah. His dad, he owned the team. It was a cash cow for him. Mm-hmm. John Angelos seems to enjoy baseball. Yeah. And he's doing what's needed to be done. He put the money into the Dominican Academy. In a couple of years, they'll start producing prospects out of that. They're using their international money to sign these international kids. They're going to start getting products out of that. They're getting, they're drafting kids that are actually now coming through the system.
Yep.
Rather than stalling. Now, I think that's got to do with their minor league coaching system down there. Because they've taken some mediocre prospects and turned them into much better prospects.
Yeah.
Just by the way they're coaching them up. And I always thought that was an issue. It's like, look, how are you drafting some of these kids like a Gosman or a Bundy, or who was the guy that went to the Cubs and won a Cy Young?
Was it Arrieta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jake Arrieta.
Yeah.
Like, that guy was a highly touted prospect, came up through Baltimore, stunk.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful. Goes to Chicago and wins a Cy Young.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's horrible coaching throughout the Orioles system. That you had a Cy Young winner. And you couldn't make him a Cy Young winner.
Yeah.
Someone else did. Someone turned your trash and turned it into gold.
Yeah.
To me, that signified that the Orioles needed to blow up their entire minor league system. And they did. Yeah. That's what happened. Because, I mean, Dylan Bundy was a number 1 pick. And he's out with the Angels just not doing much.
Yeah.
Gosman was a high pick, came to the Orioles, got traded to Atlanta after 2 or 3 years when they started to blow up everything.
Yeah.
I think he's with Toronto now. Is he Toronto?
I think it's Toronto.
And he's having a hell of a season.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy who's stuck around and been a major league starter.
Yeah. Then they had Zach Britton, who ended up with the Yankees.
Actually, he actually did worse with the Yankees than he did with us.
And then they had, I used to love Darren O'Day.
Yeah.
That sidearm.
The chant. O'Day.
Yeah.
Unoriginal, I don't care. It was awesome.
Yeah. That sidearm delivery, like he'd come out to close and, but that's when they were good.
Yeah.
And for the couple of years they were good.
Yeah.
So, but they went and blew all their money on sexy home run hitters when they should have been spending that money on starting pitching. Because that was the Ubaldo. I'd turn a game on and see Ubaldo pitching, I would just change it.
The weirdest thing is, though, so Ubaldo came from Colorado. And somehow, some way, that guy put a couple of good years together in Colorado as a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
So they thought, okay, we're going to bring him to the American League East. We'll get him out of Colorado. His ERA should go down, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Came to the American League East, and they pounded the crap out of him.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one really realized how bad the National League West was at the time.
Yeah.
That you could go play in Colorado.
And be a good pitcher.
And you would seem really good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you were playing against a Dodgers team who wasn't very good at the time. The Arizona Diamondbacks were garbage.
Yeah.
And what are the Giants? That was a lean years for the Giants too. Like, Colorado was a team.
Yeah.
And they bit on that hard. And they gave him 4 years and some money.
Yeah. And I liked that when they had Wei and Chen. I liked him. But then they let him go.
The Yankees. They traded him to the Yankees, didn't they?
I don't remember where he went.
He flamed out, though, wherever he went.
Yeah.
Never heard of him again.
Yeah.
But,
well,
this was definitely a hodgepodge of an episode.
Yeah, we could have bounced around, but that's
all right. It seems to be what we do.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for listening. Leave some comments if you want to talk Orioles or camping or glamping or whatever. What can't I say? The bus boys and poets people. What's the thing I'm trying to think of?
What, hipsters.
You want to talk about hipsters? Put that in the comment too. But thank you for listening. The drivewaybeerspodcast.com. Go get yourself private internet access link. Go click on that on the website and listen on any podcast platform you like. And we'll talk to you next time.